This is a big box containing a pretty big TV, but just because it's big doesn't mean it's automatically really good. So straight ahead, we'll take an up-close look at this Samsung 65-incher to determine whether it merits a spot on your wall in your living room. Hi friends, Bill here. Welcome into Bill's Reviews and Tech Tips, as today we take an up-close look at this beauty, the Samsung DU7200D 65-inch model. And you should know right at the very beginning, they didn't send this to me. I wouldn't mind it if they did, but they didn't. I bought this for my own space. Let me remind everybody that as I talk about the image quality of the 4K delivery system in this Samsung, I also know that it's entirely likely you're not watching this video in a 4K system. You're probably on your phone or on your iPad or on your laptop, and so just keep in mind that you may not be seeing the crystal clarity of the images that I have come to enjoy in just the last half a day. Some of the attributes of this Samsung: a wide range of colors through their pure color system. You can see your content in up to 4K because it has a scaling system where even if it's delivered in less than 4K, this 4K upscaling is really very good. It delivers crystal clear motion through its motion accelerator. And by the way, I would be showing you all of these examples of how all of it looks, except then there's all these copyright issues that come into play. So I don't know that I can put video up of an NFL game or a college football game, or even nature scenes from other people's YouTube channels. So you're just going to be looking at this logo for now, but just take my word for it if you would. This thing really does deliver super clear images. The contrast enhancer helps make the colors really pop. Of course, it has the requisite HDMI ports on the back. We can show those to you if you want to see them, including one that is for audio. Because the audio out options on this are a little bit limited. You can Bluetooth out to your soundbar, which is what I've done. You could also Bluetooth out to AirPods or however you'd like to listen to your content. But there's also this HDMI out into, perhaps your soundbar has an HDMI in. Mine doesn't. So most of the time you would think a TV like this would have an optical out to an optical in. This particular model does not have that, so just keep that in mind. I came home with this Samsung DU7200D late into the night, ripped the box open, set it up, threw it up here, and then I had to go through the Samsung activation process. I cannot imagine why in the Samsung conference rooms, when they had these meetings to determine, hey, what are we going to do to welcome our customers in for their first experience with our technology? Somebody raises their hand and says, I know, how about we make them download an app, create a smart home account for something that they may or may not use, because who doesn't want their TV remote to also be controlling their lights and their front door and their refrigerator, their other TVs, I don't want all that. And it was an incredibly clunky process. This Samsung delivers fantastic quality images. It's got really solid sound. It does everything well, except the remote is pretty clunky, and that initial setup process, well, I had a full head of hair when I started. Go figure. Let me show you a couple things here as we get into it, because this Samsung, when you hit the home button, this is what you're going to see. And I would love the option to customize and move these, make them bigger, move them up so that they are the first things that appear. Instead, we get these different choices that take us all the way down through, let me come down here a bit. As we come into these different options, I've never watched any of these programs, but it says recently added movies. This is your platform that you get to choose from. I would much prefer that the whole thing just started with the apps that I use primarily, with YouTube TV being the first one. So there is the possibility that I still might go back to the Roku stick in this unit just because I know that then if I put it into a different HDMI port, it will pop up automatically on the YouTube TV interface. Having said that, it's not all that bad, it's not all that clunky. There are an amazing amount of adjustments that you can make to every aspect of your experience here. Watch the lower left corner if you would, because when I hit the settings button on here, there are 3 options that come up, including the gear, which of course would take you into settings. And now all across the bottom here, we have the chance to come and adjust everything. Now, because the audio outputs on here do not include an optical out, my soundbar is connected via Bluetooth right now to this. It's worked out pretty well, haven't minded it. Was a little surprised that that was among the only options, but it is what it is. The remote itself, I'm going to walk you through just basics of it. If you've ever dealt with Apple remotes and things like that, that's sort of what you're dealing with here with the spin wheel up at the top. It's a D-pad on all 4 sides with the accept button in the middle. There are 4 colored circles up here in the top right corner of this remote. When you hit that button, they appear in the lower left corner. They do nothing for me. I've not assigned anything to them. I've been trying to research what it is they do, and to this point, I haven't been able to find a thing, but there you go. That's what this is. And again, this remote is not my favorite in the world. It does come with, as you would expect, some of the preloaded streaming channels. There's Netflix, there's Disney, there's Prime, and of course the Samsung TV Plus network. So let me hit that button so you can see what you're getting into when you go to Samsung TV Plus. It's their own network of movies and things that you're welcome to choose from. Most of them I have found are completely pointless and useless, but that's up to you to decide. It's not up to me to make that editorial comment. I'm mostly interested in what happens in this row. There are options for gamers. You can put your game right in here. You can actually play games online and do all of those different things. Yes, there are the HDMI ports on the back and all of the things that you've come to expect from every smart TV. But the primary reason that I'm doing this review is to share with you the tremendous picture quality on this Samsung, the clunkiness of the setup process, and let you make your own decisions as to whether or not this thing has earned a space in your space. So to give you a really good look at how the colors pop and how it handles motion, we went into my YouTube channel for the television program I host called Michigan Golf Live. And I'll take a moment to remind you of the positives of this 7200D, and that is how it handles colors, how it handles motion, how it will scale things up to 4K so that everything looks really, really sharp. And I love the image quality that comes out of this. Now again, I know some of you are watching this on a device, so you're not seeing all of the pop, but just to see the color contrast as we go through the demonstration of this particular golf cart, it's really, really impressive. The only drawbacks that I have found to this Samsung is the setup process and the remote, both of which are pretty darn clunky. But everything else made my decision to take back the other model and bring this one home kind of look pretty wise. I'm super happy with it. I think you will be too. So this is the DU7200D from Samsung. It's a good looking guy up there, don't you think?